Hello there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to TGIF Talks, episode 119. I'm your host, Dr. Sheep, with my co-host, Anonymous Phil.
I think so.
You think so? Well, all right. Where? Just go to the thing. Jesus. These podcasts are just... They're just that. They're podcasts, and that's all there is.
Not a whole lot to it.
Oh! Oh no! Oh no! I hit the wrong button.
Oh.
Please, camera, turn on. Hey, all right, and we're back. I hit the wrong button. I was like, I went to stop the stream, and I hit disconnect.
You hit the space bar?
No, I did not hit the space bar. We don't touch the space bar. Anyways,
We don't do that here.
we don't do that here. No. No more touching random buttons.
We don't do that here.
I still remember that. I was just like, don't! And you freaking just slapped the keyboard and it disconnected. I'm like, you schmuck. Anyways, what have you been up to?
Nothing.
So much.
What have I done? Here's a good question. Honestly, I just feel like the weeks have just been passing by, and I'm just counting down the years until, 40 more years until I can retire, or until 65 or whatever, maximum retirement age.
That's the minimum retirement age.
Minimum?
Yeah.
Oh, next year's minimum.
Oh,
It ain't gonna happen. Minimum it would be next year to just be done.
Our generation may never retire.
It would be nice to be retired by the age of 50.
That's a tall order. We're in the wrong careers if we want to retire by 50.
No, you just got to change your budget.
Yes, but also we should just do investment banking. We can retire within a matter of a decade.
In 1 decade?
Probably. Just move to New York, become an investment banker, and then move back here, and you're done.
Oh, really?
Probably. I mean, you got to be successful as an investment banker.
Like, can anyone do it, or do you have to actually be good at? Like, do you actually have to know your stuff?
You probably should know what the hell you're doing. Otherwise, you'll have the FCC on your ass. I don't think you want that. It's also a very stressful, boring job.
Well, see, that's the thing. You're gonna go in there, take off like 30 years of your life, and sure you'll be like young when you get out, but you're gonna have you're gonna look like you're at retirement age.
Possibly. You're also filthy rich, so you can
Kind of like athletes, they go in, they make their several $1 million a year, and they leave with they leave with the skeletal structure of a 70-year-old.
I think LeBron's in better shape than you think.
Their knees don't move like they used to.
Okay, yeah, their joints are shot. But, that's what happens when you work out.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you're rich. You can just replace them. Simple things. Things to do when you're rich.
Just replace them.
you know.
But you're still never the same, though, even if you do replace him.
Fine. What do you see as a job that will make you crap tons of money and won't age you faster than normal?
Crap tons of money and won't age you? See, that's the thing, right? There is no shortcut to life. The people who get
My
ahead and
ass.
retire early are the people who hit the ground running, nose to the grindstone, and exhaust themselves mentally every day. So that's
Well,
aging you
mental
quickly
exhaustion is
mentally.
different than physical exhaustion.
No, but you go gray sooner, which is why I said you look your age when you're done.
Could be an actor,
I guess yeah, he could be an actor.
depending
I
on the
don't know
type
how
of actor.
stressful an actor's job is.
Depends on the. Oh, you could be a singer or a
That's what I was saying.
songwriter.
Think about like business owners, right? If you start your own business, and it becomes successful,
Just sell it.
unless you quit the moment you make, you know, $1 million or whatever, the minimum that you need to retire, unless you quit right at that point, you're gonna want to see it through.
I hate to break it to you, but the most stressful part about a business is the startup.
Yeah, it's always trying to make that first million, and then after you make that first million, the next million's easy, and then it's trying to make that first billion. If you're that lucky.
No, you don't want to go that far. That's unnecessary. It's a completely different ball game from making your first million to making a billion.
Yeah.
To make a billion,
Well,
you have to
I don't
own.
know. In 50 years, a billion won't be as much as it is now.
Well,
So
yeah, but it's still an astronomically large number. Like, to become a millionaire, you can do that in a decade pretty easily through just property investment, right?
yeah, yeah,
Any schmuck could do it. You just flip houses. It's hard work, but
it
you'll do
is.
it.
It is hard
You'll
work.
make $1 million pretty easily, and if you keep those, you'll be worth $1 million. You won't make $1 million. You'll be worth a
Yeah,
million.
you're worth a
You'll be
million.
worth $1 million. Now, a
Mhm.
billion, we're talking like you basically have to have that business you just built in 10 years. You have to already have that. You have to probably already have. Now, I'm not saying you couldn't make $1 billion from, you know, something small. That's not out of the question. Elon Musk did it. But
Yeah, pretty much any business at one point was small, and it grew to a billion. Apple.
not every bit. I mean, some of the more famous ones you might think of
I mean,
started
like
that way.
what business is worth $1 billion that did not start out small? Like they just were always big.
Uh,
That's the thing,
so
right?
no, I got so there's. I would say I'm thinking subsidiaries, right? I'm not thinking like subsidiaries of companies that things companies started that grew. And I'm trying to think.
Well, even if there are some, it seems to suggest that it's slim. There's not a whole lot.
I wonder how Lockheed Martin started.
That was government, right?
I don't know. It's Lockheed Martin. What they do? Start small. Some guy building pistols in his garage. I doubt it. No way you become the largest
Well,
freaking government
no.
contractor in the world from starting off with pistols. No way. You had to been some guy's fever dream. Like, I have a ton of money and I want to build battle tanks.
Well, yeah. So I guess I don't know. Did the government go to them? Because they're like, hey, this guy's already doing what we need. I do know. I do know that there are such companies.
Well, that works too.
Who was it? I was watching, those, engineering people, engineers that built America, whatever.
Yeah.
And one of the people, they got big because the government wanted to buy a whole bunch of their stuff for the war. And that's how they got started because they were like, We need capital. We need shit tons of money. We also need tall orders. And the government, heard about what they were doing at this small startup. No one else was doing this. They were the first of their kind. There might have been like some couple of the rivals, that were also doing their startups, a completely different part of the world, but they were slightly bigger.
Right.
The government heard about them, and they had this huge government contract that just helped siphon a whole bunch of money to them. I don't remember what this was though. I just remember I saw it on like that History Channel.
I guess you know what? Any steel mill can't just start off as something small. Theoretically it could have, but today a steel mill could not start as something small. It has to be a billion.
Was it Carnegie?
Yeah.
Carnegie started steel.
Yeah, but he was already rich.
Well, his father was rich.
Yeah, which gave him
But
money.
he was the one who started the business, didn't he?
His father did. His father died, gave him money more than likely, and then he was like, "All right, I'm just gonna blow up some steel mills and buy some other ones."
But the business was already rolling, though. He took over the business.
I don't know if he took over the steel business. I don't know if Carnegie started steel. He might. I don't know what his dad
No,
did
I don't
before.
think he did. I think he took it over. Because if I remember correctly, he basically was like this kid, in his dad's shop, reading about these random people that were on his shop, reading about these random people. He observed everything as a kid, seeing how things were ran. Eventually, when he first started, he was like, all right, this position, they do nothing. They got to go. These guys, they don't work. And he started just firing people left and right because he realized how much of his company his dad wasn't paying attention to, and how many jobs he could just eliminate because they were worthless. They weren't doing anything.
So I read about Lockheed Martin, and it basically started by this guy in Los Angeles who made his first airplane, and then decided to start his own, and then had this idea. He built an airplane, and then had this idea for a better airplane, and Orville Wright, the guy who invented the airplane, was like,
yes.
Do it, my guy, start a business. And he just did it.
Mm-hmm.
In 1912.
1912, he started an airplane manufacturing business?
I guess so, yeah.
Mm.
So I guess that would be small. Although 1912 to build an airplane, I wonder, that might have been $1 million business now.
Yeah.
Before you ever got one off the ground. But I guess I forgot. They're airplane manufacturers, not tank manufacturers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? Henry Ford.
What about him?
The Ford Motor Company didn't start small.
It didn't?
No, he literally was like, I want to make...
No, he took, because he improvised the assembly line. The assembly line was already invented. He improvised upon it.
Yeah.
To lower the cost of the Model T. I don't think he invented the Model T, did he?
I don't know.
Was that his idea? Or was that just something, was that like an innovation, something that was already in the works, and then he just made his own version and called it the Model T? I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure he didn't invent it. I'm sure he, looked at how cars were being built and then was like, how can I make this easier and faster?
Cheaper, too. People couldn't afford cars. He made it affordable. Same deal with Edison. Edison didn't invent the light bulb. He made the first practical light bulb that people could buy.
Right.
I think Edison, it was 1870s when he came out with this thing. Well, supposedly the light bulb, the proto light bulb, if you will, is credited to Harvey Davy. I believe it was 1804, and he invented something he called the arc lamp.
I have an idea of how that one was made.
Yeah.
But no, so definitely, Henry Ford definitely didn't start small. He definitely was like, yep, I need to build a really big business. Because you can't just be like, yeah, I'm going to make cheap cars, but I'm going to start small, one car at a time. Like, you're not going to do that.
What's crazy is, so on that, they had another series called Food That Built America. Have you seen it? It's also a good show. Well, the maker of Subway, you know what he did when his business was failing?
No.
Let me ask you, if your business was failing, what is the first thing you do?
I figure out where we're losing money, and then figure out.
You know what he did? He opened up a second store. He was like, because I can't remember. I think he was like some sort of science major. I think he majored in he had like a STEM degree or something. And he turned it into an experiment. He opened up a second business, made his first one a control, and his second business, he just started changing stuff around. He's like, well, what if we, put the counter over here, cash register over here, and what if we? Because I think they had pre-made sandwiches. And he's like, what if we just let people choose what they want to put on their sandwich? And he's like, oh, this is working really well. Let's put this on let's do this on the first store. So this is working really well, and let's go back to the second store and change something else. And he kept using both. And once he found something that worked really well for the second store, he put that back in the first store, made that his new control, and then changed something else. And then when something else wasn't working, when the first store started doing well, he's like, okay, that's not what we should do. And he used both stores as like a control and an experiment.
I mean, that's one way of doing it.
Yeah.
That's the risky
rather
way.
than just looking at sales and being like, yeah, it's not doing. We're not making sales doing this way, because he's still making money from the first store.
I don't think you can convince a bank to let you do that these days.
What?
I don't think you can go to the bank and be like, I have an idea. It's like, sir, you're $1 million in debt, but I have an idea. Thank you, SpongeBob. That's like, sir, you're $1 million in debt, but I have an idea. But you're $1 million in debt. You owe us $1 million. I need $1 million more, though. Like, sir,
I need a third store. I have this amazing idea, but I don't want to ruin my first two stores to improvise it. I need a third store. Wait, hold up. So you're making a third store because you don't think it'll work? Yeah.
You mean ruin the first two? Sir, the first two don't make money. You can't ruin them.
I don't want to ruin the first two. I need a new store so I don't ruin the first two. That way I know if it doesn't work, because I want to see if it does work.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what he did. And let history tell you the rest of the story,
Tesla. Hey, you know what? I just realized. So Tesla, technically, if we want to, how are we defining small as in like low price, or as in like low volume? Because
low volume.
Okay.
You did not start out with making fulfilling 1,000 orders a day or something.
Got it.
That's an absurd number. You started out, a product here, a product there. All right, how can we explode this? We need to explode. You did not already just hit the ground, just.
I was gonna say, because Tesla and SpaceX both had to be super expensive when they started, but they made one rocket, one car.
Yeah. So low volume is how I quantify small business. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that is a fair point.
Yeah, because Henry Ford though he did both. He was high volume and high dollar, probably.
You think so?
You can't just build a car manufacturing. You can't just build a car factory.